Hi everyone, this is Space Toad and welcome to this new preview of BuildCraft 6.1, or maybe what we could call now the weekly preview of BuildCraft Next Gen. Let's get started. There's a few things to see today. What this is the current status of the development of this new release of BuildCraft, and again we are going to concentrate today on robots. I hope that most of the things that I want to show to you today are going to work, but you may expect some issues. All of this is pretty unstable and being developed as we speak. But anyway, let's get started. If I open this chest here, you will see that I have now a number of robots, including some that have been added since last time, in particular the bomber robot, the knight robot, the carrier, and the miner, which is still to properly name. Anyway, I'd like to start with one that we saw already, which is the planter. Now, this time I'm going to make things different. Actually, let me get the planter and the lumberjack, and that will illustrate what I'm going to show. A lot of you mentioned the fact that it would be nice to be able to specify the area in which a robot can operate. And as you can see here in the front, there is an area that has been defined by markers. Now, what I want to do is to tell to my robots that this is the area I want them to work in. Okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to need a new item to be able to say that to the robots. It's a location marker, I believe, which is here, or map location rather, here. So the map location is a new item. It can actually record the location of any block on the map. For example, if I right click here and then I look at my inventory, I can see that this recorded the map location minus 252 7259, and it recorded from the upper side. Now if I right click on an actual marker which designs an area here, it's going to record it in a different way. This time I've recorded an area which smallest point is located on minus 286, 72, and 3, and which is of dimension 39 by 18 by 59. Now, what I want to do is to tell to my lumberjack, let's start with him, to only cut wood in this area. So for that, I'm going to go onto this stations here, and I'm going to use those gates to specify and to configure the robots that are going to be linked to this gate. If I click on this, you can see that the setup has already been almost done. And in particular, I'm saying that if there is a red pipe signal, the robot goes back to the station. This is as before. Now this time I'm going to scroll through the various actions, and I'm going to select this working area. I am selecting the area here, and I'm specifying that this robot needs to work in this area. And let's do that for the other ones too, at least the bottom ones. Okay. And this one too. And last. Okay, so now all those 4 or 5, how many is that? 4 stations say that the robots that is linked to them has to work in the area defined by this map location here. And indeed, let's add 2 of these planter robots. Okay. So as usual, the first thing they're going to do is to go fetch for some saplings. Unfortunately, I do have some available right now. Okay, and as you can see, they are now going to the area that has been previously selected, and they're going to select random locations where to plant their saplings. Let's look at any of them. Okay, so this one, for example, is indeed planting the sapling in the defined area. As you might expect, this will work for other robots, so the lumberjack in particular will respect the same orders. And again, you can see here that they are operating similar to before. That is to say, they're going to fetch some axes, and now they are going to cut wood, and again, the only wood that they are going to cut is wood that is located in this area. By the way, you see here that this robot came back to his main station, and that's part of the new behavior as well. If a robot cannot find any work to do, it's going back to this main or linked station. Okay, and here you can see that indeed the lumberjacks are cutting wood where appropriate. Alright, so let's leave those guys to themselves. You can expect all robots to be controllable in a similar way, so we're not going to see every single of them. I'd like to start introducing the 4 robots that have been added to this version of BuildCraft in particular. Let's start with the carrier. So the work of the carrier is going to move items from station to station. So the only station that carrier are going to be allowed to fetch from are stations that are marked as providing items. If I go on this pipe, which has been pre-configured on this gate, you can tell that if there are items in the inventory here, I'm activating the provide items action, and I'm saying that only these pieces of wood can be provided from this station. So that's good, and that means that carrier items, carrier robots are going to look for these stations, and if they find them, they're going to extract the specified items from the chest. Now you may remember that this action here, the provide item actions, is used as well by robots that are looking for items to use. So it would be kind of a problem if everybody could, or all carriers could get these items which are aimed to be used by specific robots. For example, over there I have a chest which contains axes and swords, and I don't want these carrier robots to get those. I just want robots that specifically needs those items to use them. And yes, you can tell that there are some pieces of TNT here, but we will see that later. Anyway, in order to prevent any kind of robot to access to those objects and to get them, here I have an additional action which is robot forbidden, and here I'm forbidding carrier robots to interact with that gate. Okay, so that I'm sure that they won't fetch the object out of the chest. Let's carry on looking at the setup before we see how it works live. Here, actually, let's look over there. The thing I'm going to show is how to produce charcoal using those robots. So here, there is a regular furnace. It's surrounded by gates here. And what I say is that on the top one, if there is room for wood, then I'm requesting wood. And of course, what I'm trying to do here is to burn wood to create charcoal. Okay. On this one, I'm saying that if there is room for charcoal, which would be the fuel of this system, then I'm requesting charcoal. And at the bottom, what I'm saying is that if there is charcoal available, that is to say, if charcoal has been produced from this system, then this gate is providing items. And of course, I want to put this charcoal somewhere, so I've got another gate here on this station, and this one says that please robots try to drop item in pipe if you have them, and the items I'm expecting are charcoal items. And my carrier robots are going to grab pieces of wood, put them into the furnace, and then when it transforms to charcoal, get it, place it here. By the way, you can see here that I'm activating red soul signal off by default as the trigger, so that this is activated by default. And anyway, when charcoal is ready, it's going to come here, then be sent in this pipe system and down to my engine system, which is then powering the robot, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so all of this is consistent. Now that I've presented that, let's see this live. I'm taking this robot and I'm going to maybe just create 2 of them. Okay, and you can see that each of them is going to go on its very task. So this one over there is getting charcoal and is going to place it in the pipe, while the other one that just got piece of food is placing it on top to interact with the furnace. Anyway, this is the carrier robots, but I'm pretty sure everybody wants to see the bomber at work. So for the bomber, what I'm going to do is to define an area, because I don't want them to destroy a random piece of land. So let's set up an area here. Yes, just to make sure that they don't destroy my world. And you can expect that on a regular game you might want to attack I don't know, a piece of land for some reason, a structure, an enemy, or whatnot. Anyway, now I've updated. Let's make sure that yes, it's updated correctly, and I don't like rain. Okay, and as before, I'm going to say that okay, of course. Okay, now I'm going to say that I want to select an area to operate here. Here we go. So now that I've selected this area, I'm going to get those bomber robots. I'm going to place this guy here. And as you might expect, it's going to start by fetching some TNT. And fortunately, I prepared some here. And when it got it, it's going to go above the area that was selected, and it's going to start attacking it. Let's see. Here we go, and it's going to drop pieces of TNT over this area one by one. Pretty fun. Alright, let's carry on. There's 2 more robots to see. The first one is the miner. This one will operate as you expect. It's actually quite close to a lumberjack, in the sense that it's going to look for the appropriate item, in this case a pickaxe, if I have any, but I probably don't. So let me add some tools. Oh, let's actually take an iron one. Okay, up. Okay, now we got 2 here, and okay, now the robot found the pickaxe and is going to get it. And then the behavior of this robot is to look for precious ores. That is to say, it's not going to try to mine regular stone, but it's going to try to mine things that are of more value. Actually here, as you can see, I played a bit with the bomber robots, and as a result there are some stuff that this guy is going to extract. This, for example. Of course, as for the lumberjack, you will need to have a picker robot to retrieve the elements that are extracted by this robot. But apart from that, the behavior of the robot is pretty self-explanatory. Now, the last one that has been implemented is the night robot. So, to be able to demonstrate this one, I need some monsters. And to see some monster, I need to turn the light off. Time set 15,000 should be good enough. Yes, so now it's dark, and when it's dark, what's going to happen is that monsters are going to arrive. They're going to try to attack my my base, my station, and to make sure that I have what I need, let me actually see if I can spawn some skeletons. Yeah, skeletons good enough. Okay, so now I have some skeletons to kill. So as before, I'm going to place the knights robots on their station, and as you might expect, the first thing they need is to find a weapon. They're getting those weapons. Now they're looking for an enemy, and hopefully they will find and fight. Now okay, well, seems like my knight robots need some more work. I promised 2 days ago they were fighting those archers just fine, but I must have messed up something which broke it down. Anyway, so this is definitely a feature that I will have to demonstrate again in the next BuildCraft video. Anyway, that was a long one. As you can see, there is a lot of work that is going on. I didn't even have time to present to you every single functionality that has been implemented. There is some more, but I will be talking about it later on. For now, thanks a lot for having watched this entire video. I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.